Ladies and gentlemen, we are now holding a debate on nuclear power. We have a proposition team which is consists of Hamad Al-Nil, Mustafa Al-Qadim, Mahmoud Al-Nafi, and the opposition team which is consists of Ahmed Al-Ajili, Muhammad Al-Ajbar, and Hamid Al-Rahman. And my friend here is the judge, Muhammad Al-Qanar, with me. Okay? Now, let's start with the proposition team with Hamid Al-Nil.
Today we're going to talk about, we're going to debate about the nuclear power. Actually, we know in the 21st century we have a lot of shape of power, that's electricity or using coal or things. So, we're going to talk about the advantage of the nuclear power. Okay? The nuclear power have a lot of advantage. First of all, the lower greenhouse gas emission. As Perrin reports, in 1998, it has been calculated the ratio of the greenhouse gas has reduced for nearly half because of using the nuclear power. Since it does not release any gases like other sources of power like carbon dioxide, methane, which are legally responsible for greenhouse effect, there is no adverse effect on water, land, or the habitat due to use anything. So the nuclear power, it's like literally more safe than the other sources of power. That for us the first point of us.
Thank you. How many minutes? Yes. Now the opposition team, Ahmed Al-Ajili, will present the disadvantages of nuclear power.
First of all, nuclear energy is a rare form of energy. It is the energy stored in the center of the nucleus of an atom. After we bombard the nucleus into two parts, two different elements are formed along with the emission of high energy. The process generally followed is called fission. There is another reaction called fusion, which produces almost 1/10 of an energy as produced during fission. Fission is the chain reaction which needs uranium-235. The nuclear energy is considered as the worthiest alternative source of energy after fossil fuels. And the disadvantages of this nuclear power is, first of all, radioactive waste. The waste produced by nuclear reactors need to be disposed of at a safe place since they are extremely hazardous and can leak radiation if not stored properly. Such kind of waste emits radiation from tens to hundreds of years. The storage of radioactive waste has been a major bottleneck for the expansion of nuclear programs. The nuclear waste contain radioisotopes with long half-lives. This means that the radioisotopes stay in the atmosphere in some form or the other. These reactive radicals make the sand or the water contaminated, which can affect the health of the people living.
Thank you, Ahmed. How many minutes? 1 minute. 3:39. 1 minute 39 seconds. Okay. Now with the proposition team, Mustafa Al-Qadim.
Welcome, my name is Mustafa Al-Qadim. First of all, from the advantage for nuclear fuel, for nuclear power, cheap electricity, the cost of uranium, which is used as a fuel in generating electricity, is quite low. Also, setup costs of nuclear power plants is relatively high while running cost is low. The average life of nuclear reactor range from 4 to 60 years depending upon its usage. These factors when combined make the cost of producing electricity very low. Even if the cost of uranium rises, the increase in the cost of electricity will be much lower. Low fuel cost. This main reason. Low fuel cost. The main reason behind the low fuel cost is that it requires a little amount of uranium to produce energy. When a nuclear reaction happens, it realizes million times more energy as compared to traditional source of energy. Thank you.
Thank you. How many minutes?
24 seconds.
Okay. And now with the opposition team and Muhammad Al-Ashbal.
Also, one of the disadvantages of nuclear power is that need high cost. Another particular disadvantage of using nuclear energy is that it needs a lot of investment to set up a nuclear power station. It's not always possible by the developing countries to afford such a costly source of alternative energy. Nuclear energy plants normally to take 5 to 10 years to construct, as there are several legal formalities to be complete, and mostly it is opposed by the people who live nearby.
Thank you. Minutes. Okay, thank you. And now, let's go back to the proposition team with Mahmoud Al-Mahdi. Yes, Mahmoud.
So I'm Mahmoud Abdullah, easy transportation. Production of nuclear energy needs very less amount of raw materials. This means that only about 28 grams of uranium releases as much energy as produced from 100 tons of coal. Since it's required in small quantities, transportation of fuel is much easier, and fossil fuels' optimal utilization of natural resources in production of energy is a very thoughtful approach for any nation. It is only enhances the socio-economic condition, but also sets example for other countries. Thank you.
Thank you. How many minutes? 42. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mahmoud. Let's go to opposition team with Hamid Abdul Rahman.
Welcome everybody. And the disadvantage I'm gonna say is the national risk. Nuclear power has given us power to produce more weapons than to produce things that can make the world a better place to live in. And another disadvantage is major impact on human life. We all remember the disaster caused during the Second World War after the nuclear bomb was dropped over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Even after 5 decades of the massive, children are born with a defecate. This is primarily caused by nuclear effect. Do we all remember that? The answer is still no. Thank you.
Thank you. How many minutes? 49 seconds. Okay, thank you. Now let's come to the conclusion. Who will sum up the topic? Ras Hamad and Neil, that member of proposition team. Yes, Hamad and Neil.
Yes. Also, the nuclear energy have a lot of advantages: powerful and efficient, reliable sources, cheap electricity, and also low fuel costs. Supply, and no doubt, nuclear energy has made its way towards the future. But like other sources of energy, it also suffers from serious drawbacks. But the advantage of it, it's more than the drawback. So we must use it, and that's all.
Thank you.
24 seconds.
And now to conclude in a very quick summary, the opposition team led by Al Ajili. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Various nuclear energy programs are undergoing and developed as well as developing nations like India. Not to mention nuclear energy advantages are far ahead of advantages of fossil fuels. That in the reason that it has become the most favorite technology to produce energy.
Thank you. Other comments? Now, let's have an opinion about the best speaker in the opposition team, in the proposition team. Who is the best speaker?
Mahmoud.
Mahmoud is the best speaker, or Mustafa, or Hamad Al-Nil? Hamad. Hamad. Hamad Al-Nil is the best speaker. Hamad Al-Nil is the best speaker of the proposition team. Now come to opposition team. Who is the best speaker here? Here. Qasim.
Muhammad Ahmad Qasim.
Muhammad Ahmad Qasim.
محمد الأجبار.
Muhammad Lajbar. So Muhammad Lajbar is the best speaker in the opposition team. Who do you think is the winner? Who do you think the winner is? The opposition team or the proposition team?
You will judge.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But I'm just asking you. Proposition team or opposition?
ما أعرف عليك.
Neck to neck.
ما أعرف عليك.
I think that we are going to win because after 5 years, everyone will use the nuclear power. So that's it. It's clear.
بس الحين يقولون لا لا
Okay. As for this team has got 80% and this team has got 76%. So it's the winner is opposition team, Al-Mahi, Mustafa and Hamadi.
Yes!
This is because they spoke much more than 15 minutes and they had a lot of persuasive techniques.
Yes, you read it.
Yeah.
You read it. Yes.
So, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.